Well, hello everybody and welcome once again to Lightning TV, brought to you of course in association with mjdphoto.biz. Yet another tough weekend for Lightning with just a few weeks to go till the end of the season, as on Saturday night they entertained Swindon Wildcats at the Thunderdome, and that was followed by a very tough road trip to Peterborough and Bretton on the Sunday evening. On Saturday night it was Lightning who took the points in a 10-2 win, absolutely conclusive win. After the game I caught up with General Manager Vito Rausa, but first of all I caught up with our special guest on the evening, World Touring Car driver James Nash. So we're here at the Thunderdome, Lightning having beaten Swindon Wildcats tonight by 10 goals to 2. Prior to the game this evening we had a bit of a celebrity puck drop. Local racing driver and World Touring Car driver James Nash, very glad to have you with us and welcome to the Thunderdome.
Yeah, thank you. It's been a great experience and the atmosphere here tonight's been fantastic.
Is this your first experience of ice hockey?
Being on the ice and everything else, yes. I have seen a game before, but not the MK Lightning, so it's even better to be here at my hometown, home team, and you just mentioned the win as well, which is even better.
I did notice as well that you did the shoot the puck in the second period up against a couple of other fans as well, and it's a well-known fact that racing drivers are fairly competitive. You gave it quite a bit of beans out there, didn't you?
Oh, I gave it a good go. I'm in leather-soled shoes, so I was a bit conscious about going head over heels. But yeah, obviously I wanted to go and win. But yeah, it's a lot harder than it looks. The puck's quite heavy, and trying to swing and sweep and hit it, not so good.
So you obviously got a fairly good welcome as well before the game, dropping the ceremonial puck, and the place actually gave you a very good reception. Yeah,
it was really nice. There's a lot of people here, and the whole purpose of being part of MK and everything else is raising my profile, raising MK Lightning's profile. We're here to up our game together, so it's nice to be part of that and the crowd to acknowledge it.
And speaking of raising your game, you're currently hard in testing. You were at Rockingham earlier on this week, and down at Pembury on Monday, I believe, just the testing the Chevrolet. Is that right?
That's correct. Yeah, Monday we were at Pembury. Rockingham we've just done. It was a shakedown test. The cars have just been resprayed, rebuilt. So it's just to make sure everything works for this test. Once we've done that, they all get boxed off and go to Monza, Italy.
And that's in 2 weeks' time, isn't it? The first race of the World Touring Car Championship. And not too many people know about the World Touring Car Championship. It tends not to be massively publicised over there. Although up until a couple of years ago, there was a round here every year at Brands Hatch, wasn't there?
Yeah, there was. And I think that's part of the problem. The FIN, the World Touring Car Championship, didn't quite get the following that they expected in the UK. When we go to Hungary, it's got a huge following. So we do have a big following around the world. It's just not so big in the UK. And that's I see that as my job as well. I want to raise my profile on Milton Keynes, what I'm doing in my racing career, but then I can spread across to the UK as well and really bring that on. Hopefully then we can bring a UK round back.
Because it is, when we say World Touring Cars, you are going all over the world, very much similar to the Formula 1 guys. You pretty much, the cars don't come back to the country really the entire season, but obviously you do.
Yeah, no, I think I picked a good sport for travelling. That's really nice. No, once the cars have gone to Italy, they don't particularly come back to the UK. There's once mid-season and then they get boxed off to America, Brazil and then California. So
yeah, with people who are watching this in America, Brazil, thinking he's got the best job in the world, and it is turned. I've spoken to Paul O'Neill before now and Matt Neal as well, who both say they do have the best job in the world.
It is great. Well, they're in the UK as well, so I get to go further afield than those guys. But it's great. I'm doing what I love to do and what I really wanted to do, and I get to travel with it as well. So can't ask for anything more. No,
and although people don't probably readily recognise the name locally, you've been around the touring car scene for a number of years. 2 years ago in the AAA Vectra, you picked up the Independence Championship, and that was only one of a few seasons. So you pretty much hit the ground running in touring cars, and then got the opportunity last year in World Touring Cars, didn't you?
Yeah, I won my Independence Championship in my first full season at British Touring Car, so it was a good effort from us, and we always said if we finish in the top 5 of any championship we move on, so that's why we picked up and moved on to World Touring Cars. It seemed like the natural progression. We've got some big ambitions still, LMP cars and Le Mans, so we've got a lot to achieve, and our main focus at the minute is World Touring Cars.
Yeah, and it certainly looks like you've got a sort of better run at it, if you like, this season. I know last season was a challenge for you. It was the first year with the World Touring Car for Focus with Team Aon, and a fairly new team as well, only having had one season in the British Touring Car Championship, take on the world stage. Yourself and Tom Chilton, your teammate, it was a bit challenging for you, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a very tough year. Ford being new into it, we had big plans with Ford to progress them on. It was going to be a 3-year deal. Unfortunately, it didn't work out for one reason or another. We won't go into that. But yeah, it fell apart. But we got the opportunity with Chevrolet. I've always wanted to be in a Chevrolet. It's the best car on the grid, and I need to go and give myself the best opportunity to go and win. So it presented itself, and that's where I am.
And you've got another teammate in the Bamboo team this season, in Alec McDowell, who's another young charger, if you like. And you two have got very, very similar driving styles to one another. You're going to push one another all the way through the season, aren't you? Yeah,
that's the idea of a good teammate as well. You know, we're there to beat each other first of all, but we've got our data to work off each other. But there's another Chevrolet driver, Ivan Muller, that's going to be out there. He's very well known and quality driver, so we get his data, we can learn from him, so I'm taking it as a big learning year as well.
And you must, I know you've come through the ranks, if you like. You started on karts and you went through the academy, if you like, the racing academy. You must sit on the grid in World Touring Cars and look around some of the drivers you got around you. You got James Thompson, been around touring cars for a long, long time. Rob Huff, the current champion, will be the reigning champion this year, also a Brit, of course. And you just mentioned a guy, Ivan Muller. There's certainly a few luminaries around there. Do you actually have to look around? You know, I know you're getting ready for a race, but do you sometimes look around and think, I can't believe I'm here?
Yeah, you not at the race weekend. You sort of take a step back after the season and think, wow, you know, is that what we've just done? There was one moment on the grid at Donington. I remember as a small boy watching touring cars. Donington, the van was on the front row, and you go on an onboard footage, and there's lights that come up. And I remember sitting there third in my Vectra at Triple Eight, and the lights come on. I was like, I recognise this moment. What's going on? It's just quite surreal. But yeah, it's not until after the season normally that you recognise where you've been and what you've done. And yeah, very privileged.
So you've been working up for the new season. Obviously, there's quite a level of fitness involved in that as well. What do you do during the close season? Were you busy sort of trying to put the deal together for this season, or do you just think, you know what, I'm going to take a month off?
Yeah, normally we're quite late on in getting our deal together. This year we really planned it. I've got a good marketing team behind me. We got all our sponsors together fairly early. We signed the deal with Bamboo very early as well. So we've been working on new sponsors for later on in the year, and of course for next year. So we're very well in advance this year. Just been training at the gym. Got another job as well on the side. So just keep going and just keep paying the bills, really.
Yeah, I know talking to a lot of racing drivers, it is hard work. It's not just your sole job. It's, you know, if you're lucky to get a paid job, that is great. But you do have to, like you say, you pay the bills as well.
Yeah. There's the other element. You know, when we're coming through the ranks, sponsors pay so much of it. We have to find a bit more, and until we get a manufacturer deal, then we can really start eating the cash, and that'll be the full-time job.
So we've gone from the fastest team sport in the world on ice hockey tonight to the fastest sport pretty much in the world in motorsport, and the seasons overlap. You know, we're just coming to the end of our season. It's a playoff weekend in just a few weeks' time. Probably pretty much the week after you take to the track for the first time in your season, which is a fairly long season, is it, around the world? But obviously, there'll be people in Milton Keynes who want to follow you as you go throughout the season and find more about World Touring Cars. How do they do that?
Website jamesnashracing.com, Twitter at James Nash Racing. There's Instagram as well at James Nash Racing. So anything to do with James Nash Racing, just Google it and you'll find it. Okay, and we'll obviously put it up on the screen for everybody to have a look as well. Well, James, first of all, thanks for coming down and doing the puck drop tonight. I know it was a great time for the team, and they've really enjoyed having you around tonight. And good luck for the start of your season and throughout the season as well. And hopefully we'll see you again very soon. Yeah, no, thank you. And I want to get a puck and I want to take a picture at every one of the rounds, and we'll post it somewhere. So keep an eye out for it. We'll certainly do that for you. Thank you very much. Cheers. Brilliant. So Vito, tough couple of weeks over the last few games. If ever there was a way to bounce back from the odd disappointment, tonight was it.
Absolutely, I thought it wasn't a brilliant performance in the first period, but I thought the third period was very good. I thought we were clinical in front of goal, moving the puck around nicely. The result probably a little bit unfair on Swindon because they are better than that. But I think it kind of shows you what the team can do when it wants to. Offensively, very, very good. We've just got to make sure that we're tight at the back. Everybody's now. We all know that Flames need 2 points from this weekend, and they failed to get those tonight. To win this league, effectively wrap it up. So everybody's vying for these playoff places. And as it stands at the moment, we're still, with a couple of weeks to go, we still could end up facing either Swindon or Slough. That probably looks where it's going. Whatever happens, that was the right message to send tonight. Yeah, I think so. I think it was a good message to Swindon. Likewise to Slough. The only thing I would say is that we won't sort of sit back and think, oh, well, we've scared Swindon, and when the playoff comes, we know that tonight counts for nothing. And actually, when you're going to 2 games, it's a 2-game series. You've got to play strong away and make sure that you just, the whole weekend is about getting a job done. And we're not going to think that we've beaten Swindon by this scoreline tonight, that we can take it easy, because let's be honest, offensively they are a very, very good team, and I think they've got some great talent on that team.
Yeah, they certainly seem to. They come out quite hard at the very start of the game. And what was the message that came from Nick at the start of the game? Because we started a little bit slowly, then we picked it up. But as the game progressed, Swindon found it progressively difficult to play the puck out of their own zone, because our forecheck was once again back up there.
Yeah, I mean, we knew that they would be a little bit light in defence, but ironically, Nick's message was to let's get our noses in front. What you don't want to be doing is giving a team like Swindon a 1-goal lead or a 2-goal lead. And it was ironic that we actually went 1-0 down, and he looked across as if to say, this is exactly what I didn't want. But having said that, I think what the team has shown, and they've shown it a couple of times over the last couple of weeks, that and you need that for a team to really do well in playoffs and in places like Coventry. And I don't want to get too ahead of ourselves, but in those important games, you need a team to be confident that if it goes a goal down, it will get it back. And I think what we wanted to do was to push hard on the forecheck, make their D-men work hard. If a team is short on D, let's just make sure that the D are working extremely hard, and then from there, opportunities will come.
It certainly looked a great game to watch, and picking the Man of the Match award at the end tonight is so difficult. Blas Ibrasic obviously knocked in a hat trick, but you can't ignore Yanni Jokela with 1+7 on the night. You can't ignore figures like that. What a player!
Yeah, I mean, Yanni's just understanding what the league's about, and I think we're just starting to understand what Yanni's about. The guys call him the magician, because you look at what he does with the puck. I actually thought on Wednesday he was even better than tonight. I thought he was outstanding on Wednesday, just smooth. He's got that little turn, not phenomenal pace, but just fantastic hands. And if you're patient with him, he'll find you. A great player to play actually with, but no, he's been a great addition to the team.
I think if the fans were going to give you a shopping list for next season so far, I think so far it'll go J, K and L. Yanni, Cami and Lucas, and I'm trying to fit Blas in there as well, but obviously that's too far down the alphabet. They've got to be priorities for next season, surely.
I think if you look at all 4 of our overseas players, you'd sign all 4 of those straight away, because people also don't realise how good Blas is. Blas is our quarterback, if you like. He's a bit like Kazi. He's always in the right place. He's always very, very smart with the puck. He's the guy that will be always third man high. He's smooth. How many times has Blas received a bad pass? You can't give Blas a bad pass, because even a bad pass he turns into a good pass. And I wouldn't underestimate Blas. I think he's a phenomenal player, and he's certainly high up on my shopping list. But
I think you've got some dilemmas during the summer, because getting every single one of these guys back is going to be, I think, is going to be a priority, isn't it? Yeah,
it is. I mean, we're lucky that we've got people like Jamo, we've got Afani, Lewis, and Kazi. They're all on 2-year deals, so they're done deals. But you've got to look at the 4 imports, and luckily I don't pick the team. But if it was for me, I'd pick all 4 of them. I'd take all 4 of them back, because actually I think they're 4 great players, and they're a nice combination. I think also, with the exception of the Crazy Czech, they're good guys. The Crazy Czech's a great guy, but he's entertaining.
He's got to be seen to be fully appreciated, doesn't he? He's got to be spoken to be fully appreciated, without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah, he's a real character, and to be fair, the guys in the room love him. They love his ways, his mannerisms, little things that he does. Like, for example, the whole team goes off the ice at the end of the period, and Cammy sits on the bench, and Cammy, what are you doing on the bench? I want to stay here. He wants to say that. Okay, fine, no problems. And then we have to wait for the team talk to get Cammy back. But he's got great speed, and he's been a huge asset to us as well.
I'm going to come on to the fans in a minute, because over the past couple of weeks, Lightning fans have shown just how much this team means to them, and just how powerful fan power can be, if you like. But talk about tonight, our special guest tonight, James Nash from the World Touring Car Championship. Just had a chat with him. He loved it, absolutely, really enjoyed himself tonight.
It was great. It was great to see him here. Actually, great to see a local lad done well. Actually a very nice guy as well, which was really good. But he enjoyed it. He was a bit concerned about doing the puck drop because of he had some sort of
He got leather sole shoes on, he was saying, so he was a bit worried about slipping around, but that didn't stop him during the puck shoot in the second period, let me tell you.
No, he did really well, and it's great, and I think some of the things he wants to do, from our perspective, it's a privilege to have him here. And I think one of the things that we like in Milton Keynes, we always talk about trying to do the right things with local people, and it's great when a local celeb comes in and helps us out and comes and enjoys the evening. That's magic.
I think we'll find a Milton Keynes Lightning puck winging its way around the world on every single World Touring Car Championship round. I think it might make an appearance on Eurosport every now and again as we go throughout the motor racing season.
No, absolutely, and that actually leads me on to another point with regards to sort of some of the work that people like Tracy Richardson does with our PR. She does a fantastic job. It's all been her work to get him here, and you've got to thank people like that. And also, this week, we did a press release on our fans and our supporters club, and
just coming on to that, we did the presentation last week, or Dave Bunyan did a presentation, £16,500 to the team. The playoff shirts went on sale at 9 o'clock on Tuesday morning. All bar one are gone by pretty much, sort of 8 o'clock that night. Within 12 hours, it's almost fever pitch, isn't it?
Yeah. I think you made a comment earlier on, that in terms of what the team means to the fans. And let me tell you what the fans mean to the team, because actually the fans and the supporters club mean an enormous amount to the team. And I keep saying it time and time again. We're kind of joined at the hip. There isn't anything that we don't ask the supporters club input on across for the team. So like the shirts, Dave organises the shirts. He shows us some things. We'll have an input in it, but fundamentally we let Dave and the supporters club take care of that. All the fundraising, £16,500. That's a pretty good check to get this far down in the season. Bear in mind what they've paid us already through the course of the season. We're very, very fortunate at Milton Keynes, really are.
We are, and I suppose with the exception to Telford and the league, who have their own fans' trust, I suppose we'd be the club closest to them, where the fans genuinely do own a portion of the club, do they? Through the supporters club and everything else, and it's key. What the fans do off the ice is reflected on the ice.
Absolutely. If you were to ask me who owns this club, it isn't an individual. It's just a whole group of us that actually, and we all put a little bit in to make it work. And it is very, very good. And I don't want to belittle what other clubs do, because there are some very, very well run other clubs in
It's important to know that everybody does what they can.
Yeah, and my job isn't to compliment them. My job is just to say a big, big thank you to our supporters club for what they do for us. And we are genuinely grateful.
Well, it's pretty much running time. I think we've got 2 home games before we then go into the playoff quarter-final. We can say it quite boldly. We do know we will be in the playoffs. Whether or not we get to Coventry is another matter. But that's what the guys are focusing on now.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've got 4 games left now. After tomorrow night, you pretty much know whether we're going to be on home ice for the second game, and I think that was our first objective, to make sure that we got home ice, so to try and finish in the top 4. We haven't done that yet, and there's no guarantee that even after tomorrow night that we'll be there. But we're a couple of points nearer now. I think we've got to lose at least 5 points to Slough. Or to Swindon. I think Swindon might be a bit too far away, but certainly 5 points to Slough. Not to make it. So it is in our hands. I think once we've got that second game at home, that helps. But then you've got to sit down and you've got to focus. You've got to play a good away game, a smart away game, and a strong home game. So I think we're taking our objectives one at a time. We just love to be at Coventry for the players, but also for our fans.
Yeah, I think the Hawaiian theme this year, the saying going round, is going to be a pool party, literally, with Nick Poole being there. But it's going to be one hell of a weekend. It always is. Yeah.
I think the Hawaiian party worried me a little bit, because we started to hear little words about sort of, how do you guys fancy wearing Hawaiian shirts for the playoffs? And hold on, guys.
We did suggest that with a design. I thought at the bottom of the shirt would look nice with sort of a grass skirt kind of, effect on the bottom. But Dave didn't really want to do that.
No, it wasn't Dave. It was us guys that said, come on, Hawaiian shirts for perhaps just a step too far. But I think from our perspective, just being really, really honest and serious about it, we just want to get to Coventry as much as we possibly can. And we've got a couple of weeks left now to really focus and make sure that we're at our peak for that weekend to get us to Coventry. And then once you're in Coventry, you're at the party, and then who knows, anything can happen.
Yeah, it's been proven over the last few years that anything happens once you do get to Coventry, of course. Start out tomorrow. Tough trip to Bretton tomorrow, to Peterborough. They're going to want a bit of revenge, aren't they?
They are. They also had a bit of a poor result tonight, so they're going to be focused. I think us winning by a good score means that they're going to be saying, look, we've got to play well. They're a hard-working team. Make no bones about it.
They've got the scariest third line in the league. Those three young lads on their line three are going to go places, aren't they?
Yeah, I would say that's a good hard-working line. And they certainly work hard. They move the puck, and they put D-men under pressure. Ironically, I thought that our third line tonight was fantastic.
Yeah, definitely had a great game and gelled for the first time for a long time. I know Chris Wiggins has been out with injury and stuff like that, but tonight they really did click.
At times they were unplayable. They really were. So they were quick. They were putting D-men under pressure. They were taking the body. They were cycling the puck down low. I thought they were absolutely superb to a man. All four of them on that line. We rotated between the four of them, but they were all four of them very, very good.
All we've got to do now is keep everybody fit for the next few games. Make sure we get into that quarter-final and just play everything for Coventry.
Absolutely. And it's a big ask, an important ask, and it's something that we will move heaven and earth to try and get to.
Well, Vito, don't know for 1 minute. Many thanks for talking to us tonight, and we'll speak again soon.
No problem. Thanks, Chris. Cheers.
So there you go. We're barely just 3 weeks to go for the rest of the season. Let's check out the rest of the weekend's results, and in particular, let's see what that does to Sunday night's league table. So, as well as a fantastic result from the Thunderdome on Saturday, there was a full programme once again in the English Premier League on Saturday night. Guildford needed just 2 points to secure the league title as they travelled to the nearest rivals Basingstoke, but it wasn't to be as Doug Shepherd's men refused to lie down, and it was the Hampshire side that took 2 well-earned home points in a 4-2 win. Manchester looked to consolidate third place and continue to push for second as they beat Peterborough convincingly 7-2 up in Altrincham, while Slough finished what has been a very trying week for them by slumping to a 7-3 home loss at the hands of Bracknell Bees. Elsewhere, it looks as though the playoffs are now out of reach for Sheffield Steel Dogs as they were beaten 3-1 by Tom Watkins' men at home in Telford. That result means that Peterborough would now need to lose every remaining game for Sheffield to have a chance of progressing into the quarter-finals of the playoffs. On to Sunday then, and it was a happy return to Bretton for Lightning as Camel Tverdex scored the game-winning goals to take the points in the 3-1 win. Elsewhere, Manchester beat Bees 8-3 at the Hive, whilst Basingstoke came from behind again to ensure there are no league celebrations as yet for Guildford, as the Bison won an 11-goal thriller in Swindon, the score there being 6-5. Slough managed to raise a positive from this week as they beat Telford 4-2 in Shropshire. On to the league table then, and the champagne stays on ice for another week as Guildford haven't quite wrapped up the title just yet, but need just the 2 points this coming weekend to make certain of that title. Manchester moved to within 5 points with a game in hand, and Lightning look now to have consolidated that fourth spot, but will still be looking to steal third from Manchester. Slough are in fifth with Swindon just behind them, then it's Bracknell and Peterborough 11 on 49 points, but with Bees having 2 games in hand over the Bretton side. Now playoff qualification looks nigh on impossible for Steel Dogs now as they start to build ready for next season, with Telford of course already out of any running for playoff berths. So there you go, just a few more games to the end of the season as all the teams are still fighting for those Coventry playoff places, of course. Speaking of playoffs, one thing Lightning do want to do is thank every single one of you fans out there that sponsored a playoff shirt. As they went on sale on Tuesday morning, virtually all sold out bar one after an amazing 8 hours. Only one left if you want to get in contact with Dave Bunyan for that. That's all you need to do if it hasn't gone already. Don't forget also the theme for the playoff weekend is Hawaiian, of course, and at every single home game on the Supporters Club stand there is a small donation box if you want to make a small contribution to help decorate the block up in Coventry this year. You've also got the opportunity there to buy the small leis, the Hawaiian garlands that go around your neck. They're £2 for £1. Just contact the Supporters Club stand as well. Speaking of which, it's the end of season party on Friday the 12th of April 2013, just a week after the Coventry playoff weekend if you sobered up by then, of course. If you want to get tickets for that, they sell out very, very quickly. All you need to do is just contact the Supporters Club stand on match nights. That's pretty much all we've got time for this week. Next week's visitors on the Thunderdome is a Sunday night home game. It's Basingstoke Bison. The face-off is 5:30. If you want to get yourself a discount, of course, all you need to do is get your tickets prior to the weekend. And for more information, of course, all you need to do is just go onto the Lightning website, www.mk-lightning.com. Have yourselves a great week. We'll see you next time.